Welcome. I am going to show you the secrets that lie in the palm of your hand. The secrets that have powerful information that can guide you and tell you a lot of things about your own life and about the life, the personality, the situations in somebody else's life. And this is palmistry. We are going to be looking at the lines in the insides of our hands, the mounds that are there, the lines on our fingers and on our wrists in this series. I'm starting out with the main energy, which is otherwise known as the lifeline. Okay, so your lifeline starts out between your thumb and your forefinger, and it moves down right around this mound here, all the way down to your wrist. It is underneath the headline. Okay, sometimes it can be attached or sometimes it can be separately. Now let's clear up a myth about the lifeline. The lifeline is not an indication about how long you are going to live. Okay, some people's lifelines end quite earlier and some people's lifelines can go right around to the end here. It's an indication more about the quality of the life that you will be living and not the quantity of life that you will be living. So if you have a bit of a shorter lifeline, I would say go out there, start having adventures, because even the lines in your hands can alter and can change when energy is changed inside of you. So always remember, in any kind of divination, in any kind of like looking into things that involve like seeing into your energy is always mutable and can be changed. So let's get into this. Let's see what this is all about. So your lifeline talks about different aspects of your life. It talks about your physical strength. It talks about life patterns that you will be having and how things will be unfolding for you. We have got two hands. Okay, so I am showing you my left hand because I'm on the side of the camera. The left hand is associated with things like emotion. Different palm readers from different parts of the world will read things differently. Okay, what I have learned is that the left hand and what resonates with me is associated with your emotions, relationships, your heart, love, all those kind of things, the relationships with your parents, with your children, with a partner. The right hand on the other side is associated with the palm, the hand mark there. The lifeline here is associated with your power, with your ambitions, with your career, and what it is you are trying to create in your life. So let's get into this. Let's start off by looking at a couple of little things there that you can look at in your palm right now. So we're going to look first of all at the gap that is appearing between, this is where I get fun stuff going, okay, because I love just scribbling all over the place. So we've got a lifeline here, and then this is the headline. Okay, so the headline and the lifeline, for some people, as you can see, they are literally joined. For others, the join will be separate from here. It will almost make like a triangle kind of shape. For others, it will move a little bit down, and for others, there is a gap. This lifeline could be, the headline could be higher up to this point, or the lifeline can be lower and curve around. This means different things. So you have a look at your headline here, and you have a look at your headline and your lifeline, and then I will explain to you. With regards to this gap, it is talking about different kind of personalities that people carry. Okay, so if you have a gap in your headline and your lifeline, it means that you're a very independent person. It means that you value having a very strong career. You value having even power in your life. You love to be independent, but sometimes we got negative and positive with both of these things, right? You love your independence. You love to create a wealth in your life and be surrounded by material opulence, material possessions that you feel will enhance your life in some kind of way. But I always feel the negative part of with the gap is that if you had a choice, you would choose power and money over maybe love. Okay, if you were faced with that choice, you would go, nah, I'm going for my career, I'm going for my business, you see. So you are a person that may go to study away at university, even though you're leaving somebody else behind. You see what I'm saying? Which is not a bad thing. It's all just your personality. Sometimes the things with regards to the gap here, I don't have one, okay? It can be like over shopping or being very impulsive, or some certain people can lose their temper quite quickly with regards to the gap. Now you're going to see my personality because I'm literally showing you guys. So with this kind of situation, depending on where and how far this join is, mine is quite far. You can see it's way over there. This is an interesting energy. One of the energies that come up with a join, even if it's further, the further down it will be, the more of this energy you will carry. It means that you are a person that likes to be dependent or have connections with other people. So meaning there is negative and positive in both of these situations, meaning that you, first of all, if you have the join here, you're very good at controlling your emotions. Okay, so you're not a person that, like with the gap person, sometimes they cannot control their emotions as much as you would maybe do if you do have the join, or somebody you know has this join. It means that they can, instead of losing their temper, or instead of getting very excited about something, they kind of like can control their emotions in a situation. It's like you see somebody winning the lotto and then they run around like crazy people, and then you see the second person winning the lotto and they're kind of standing there going, okay, and they only react a little bit later. That is the difference in these kind of energies. With the joined line here of these two, it usually means that you have a very close-knit family of friends and family that you are very, very loyal to. These people rely upon you because you are very generous with them. You really value your life and your experiences with how everybody else around you is living, especially if they've made it into your inner circle. You are very, when we see a big gap here, the gap between these two energies, they can be seen as a person who is a bit of an extrovert. An introvert is more the person with the joined energy. And with this coming up like this, you're literally looking at situations where if your family is happy and you are happy, then it's all good. But if your family members are not happy, then you will not be happy as well. It's like you really are enjoying the company of others. Now, the negative part of this can be that you become codependent upon people. You need people in your life, or you trust people too much by giving your heart too quickly and too fast with people. And then you become so dependent on them. You can be in this energy where you literally decide that you are going to stop working and raise children, male or female energy, and trust the person so much that you're with, that they're going to do the right thing and always be there for you. So you can become codependent with people, or feel lonely when you're not with people, and sometimes seek out relationships just to not to be alone. So that there is always negative and positive in both situations. So now let's talk about some of the things that happen inside of a line. Let's talk about the depth of a line first of all. My one, if you actually have a look on this hand, it is actually, I hope you can see clearly, it is actually not too deep, but you get some people with very, very, very deep ones, or very, very shallow ones. Usually you want a middle line somewhere along the line. You don't want somebody with a very deep, it almost looks like they have a scar, there, because they can be a little bit controlling in their emotions, or a little bit manipulative energy. And if the line is too light and very faint, it could be a lack of maturity inside of this person, and they still have a lot of growth and growing that they need to do. So with regards to this, we are now looking at the curve of this line. Okay, the curve of the line is talking about your health, and it also talks about how you are with regards to how you act in the world. So as you can see, my line has got an interesting little curve. I wouldn't say it's extremely curved. I'd say it's in between curved and straight, okay, which I guess is a good thing. So if some people have the line that will literally come down and it'll be much more straight. and others will have a curve, and others will have a real prominent curve. So I guess the more the curve, okay, the better, because with regards to the curve being there, you must remember mine is still curving down on the bottom, others will just sort of curve here. So if you are curved, if your line is really got a nice curve to it, it means that you make sensible choices in life, and you really think things through before you do something, okay. And it also shows a sign of good health as well. With regards to a very straight line coming down, so you can have this energy where it just comes very, very straight. It is an indication that sometimes you don't think before acting, and you can make mistakes moving through life. This can also be an indication, especially if it is combined. So if this is in somebody's palm, you can check a person out before you maybe get to know them, so you got a heads up energy. So if this is a very kind of like straight line and it is very deep, be very careful, because that can show a person that is kind of like got anger issues or aggressive, and they may speak very harshly with people, so they don't have soft words to say. They can speak their words can cut very deep. So be careful with this kind of energy. So if you're dating someone, check it out. Okay, so now let's go to some interesting information here. In this lifeline that you have, there can be different kinds of situations that happen in here that indicate different things. This is your lifeline. It starts off when you are at birth, and it moves off until you get like to adulthood, until you are much older. Remember, it is not an indication of your age. I don't like those kind of things coming up. So let's get a pen and play. All right. So we've got different kind of like lines and different kind of like shapes that come in. Sometimes we have like a little, it's like called an island. So sometimes we will have a little island situation that will pop up, and it will look something like that. Okay, it can come on both sides, or it can come on one side. Okay, something like that. These islands can occur at different stages. They usually mean either some kind of break from working, depending on which hand it is laying in. Remember, this is emotion, this is career. So with regards to that, it can be an illness that you have had, or a break from life. For instance, if it is on your career side, it can be you were not working at that time. Or even if it shows up still in your future way down here, it can be you going into retirement. It is sometimes also an indication that there can be a health issue at that time. Usually if you are moving past it, the line is carrying on here, it's a good sign that things will be fine. If you've got quite a lot of them, I think I've got two. I've got one here, and I've got one a little bit down here. So this, for me, having this here on the side of career, I need to be careful what that means to me. It can mean that I'm going to take a break from working, or I'm going to change direction in career, or there could be an issue that pops up. With regards to like health issues, it depends sometimes what it looks like inside of the dot there. So if you have something that's more like a red dot inside, a red color inside, it can indicate fever. And if you've got something much more serious like black energy inside of this can be quite serious. It can even indicate stuff like surgeries or even major health issues. Okay, then we are moving to the energy of cross lines. So sometimes we have this kind of like a little fine, I've got a couple of them running through here, but very fine. It's almost like I've had stress throughout my whole life, but not too serious. It's like you get this little cross line that will cross through, something like this, or even a few of them like that. Others can be almost like a cross running in different directions. So we got that kind of energy moving in there. This is usually an indication, especially in the left hand, that there's a bit of stress that you carry. The deeper and harder these cross lines are, it can indicate much more serious emotional problems for you, which can be things like anxiety or depression, or events that take place that are causing you a lot of stress, okay, in your life or in somebody's life. It is very interesting if you do have cross lines. Okay, I've got a cross line moving in this one here. So if you look really carefully, there is a cross that is happening there. And then I can't see because I kind of like drew over my hand here. But if you have a specific cross line like that, okay, or you have something that looks like a V. So we got these two energies. It usually means that in some way or the other you have become spiritual from the situations that you've been through, from things that you've experienced. So you will have like a spiritual awakening or spiritual development happening inside of you. Now let's go to something else that's quite interesting as well. Let's go to the way that the line actually looks, because not everybody's line, and I'm going to share something really interesting with you before we come out of the reading. Okay, one last thing about this I'm going to share. It's kind of like an interesting thing that's always quite fun, and I find that it does align a lot with people. Okay, so with this as well, sometimes the line is not completely straight. We've got people who have lines that have got breaks in them that look something like this. So it's almost like their line is going, but it's going kind of like with a lot of breaks coming down. This can be an indication of illnesses that a person is going to be having, or even an accident that can take place. Sometimes you'll find the line even splits apart completely. Like the line can be solid and then it has a split like this, and then it continues. It can be an indication of an accident or an illness that is going to be overcome. If it is quite a long line that goes down all the way to the bottom, this person has a lot of health issues or has a lot of situations that are arising in their life that is disruptive in some kind of way. Okay, so if you do see something like that, you need to be a little bit careful. Sometimes a broken lifeline like that can indicate like a lot of health issues here. With regards to a straight line that is broken, okay, so the same line but it looks more like this. So it's going straight. The line is not feathered like this. It's just broken in some places. It can be an indication of health issues as well, but mainly related to things like your mind, your head, overthinking, a lot of stress, which can be causing things like anxiety, migraines, and headaches. Okay, so this person with a line that does this may not be able to handle very stressful situations, and they can get very stressed out. Now, the last little tidbit I'm going to share with you here with regards to your lifeline. I told you before, this is the place of your birth, and as the lifeline is proceeding, events are taking place, things are happening to you. Where this goes here is interesting. If your lifeline, okay, breaks at the bottom in some kind of way, it does that. This is an indication that you will relocate or move even from the country that you were born in, and you will be in another place at the end of your lifetime. It can be a major relocation. Sometimes we look at it as moving across the country, or we look at it as even relocating across the ocean. Okay, sometimes if you have more than one, so if you've got a split that kind of comes and it's like maybe split again somewhere else in the future here, you kind of got another vibe coming up where it splits a second time or a third time. You could be somebody that really is a bit of a gypsy and kind of does move around and travels quite a lot, which is kind of fun, I'm just saying. But there we go. I hope that this helps you. You can go check your own palm out, go back and research and look at your own palm, and you can go to those the friends that you have. You can do a little palm reading for them and sort of tell them about their situations and what's going on with them. And even when you meet new people, it can be a fun thing that you can do, but at the same time you are learning a lot about the people around you, and maybe avoiding some situations, I'm just saying. And the next reading I am going to do out is going to actually be looking into the headline, so that will be coming out in a day or two. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you want to catch more content by me, you can catch one of my tarot readings, one of my tea leaf readings, or even a pick a card reading on my other channel, which will be listed up here. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. I'm sending my love. Bye.